And we're live.
You are
Good
live.
night, Labry. Well, let's see. We have to score some of our fans because usually we have people waiting on our ship, but they're not here as yet. So we give it a little minute or two to, we get a little while to build up. We say build it. Whoa, be sure about that one.
Of course, we have to do some sharing.
Yeah. Chef, you sharing?
Well, you were sharing.
I'm going to share on my page in the meantime.
Right.
See one person on board. As always, folks, when you come on board, good night, we always have to give us a sound check, tell us how we singing, how we viewing, if everything's going good, so we'll know to make it right.
I look like Nami on the inside. Nami, the first of the bad boy. Thank you, brother. You all let us know how we coming across. If the audio is good, if the video is good. Right, comments coming in, man.
Chef, you see us on Facebook? You find us as yet? I'm not seeing us on.
Yeah.
Okay, so you start sharing already, right?
I'm about to.
Okay.
Right, so guys, Betty, Vernon, pleasant night. Don't forget to, as you comment, to share the live, share the love. Right, you could share to, from Library Column, so I should go in one time.
I ain't finding myself on Facebook. I was looking for the show right now. I'm losing my touch.
Oh, God.
I'm somewhat embarrassed. There we go. Finally found myself. Wow. That's embarrassing.
Ding, welcome. Good night. Executive producer. You know the order. You can share for us. That would be great. Thanks a million.
There we go. Finally found myself. Wow. That's embarrassing.
All right. We get a little feedback. Somebody have it playing back on Facebook.
That would be me.
That'll be Carl.
Yeah, I already addressed that.
All right, nice.
Share. I'm gonna share. Right. I finally get to share. Right. Share to my page. Post. Good. So I'm gonna share to from Library now. Share to group because we can't do it without from Library. That's our patron Sid Renee Samuels who formed our wonderful group. From Library. So we went from 0 to 100 pretty quickly, but we're up to 15 viewers already. So we can start. Nice. So Larry, good night. We was having some 3/4 technical difficulties. This is your boy, the Fire Marshal, and Chinome alongside not my co-host, but Larry Batman, the man, Kevin Chef Williams, the chef.
In the building, it's your boy. I'm honored again to be here with you all and these two beautiful ladies that are here tonight with us.
Definitely. Tonight we are luckily, lovely. We both guys are lucky to be in the presence of these wonderful empresses we have on the inside. We have the always sunshiny and flowery and glowing Shuntelle Steves on the inside. And of course, yes, and of course the always enigmatic, powerful Shelly and Trotman Dorridge on the inside. I don't know which one she want to go with tonight, but our queen pin coming all the way from the line of the queen herself, Shelly on the inside. So good night and thank you, ladies, for honoring us to be on inside the Library agenda. Yes. Welcome.
Thank you.
Well, as always, we always take a little moment before we get to proceedings, get to recognize something larger than ourselves. We always try to recognize the spiritual part of it, and we always respect all walks of life, all beliefs. So we always look at Islam, Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, whatever your Judaism, whatever your order is, respect you. And of course, we always remember the ancestors, because you can't know where you're going until you know where you come from. So we just take a little moment of silence and reflect a little bit before we start. Yes. So good night, Library. So as we're about to start, before we kick off, let's let the people know why we are here tonight and what exactly these two lovely young ladies are here to present us. So we'll play the ad.
Library. Team Voices presents its 3rd annual Back to School Supply Drive.
Hi everyone, my name is Shuntelle Stephen, and I'm coming to you to give you a special invitation to join us in at the Library Agenda this Thursday, July 1st at 8 p.m., where I'll be talking about the third annual Back to School Drive specifically for the community of Brea.
Wow. So, Shuntelle, what is yours? Tell us first about who is Shuntelle Stevens. Introduce us. Let's Labri know who and what you are.
Sure. Hi everyone. I am Shuntelle. I am originally from Vesney, grew up in Labray, and I moved to the U.S. when I was about 12 years old. So I live in New York. My family is here. And I just love all things community service. I love family. I love bringing people together, collaborating. That is just the true heart of who I am. So that's just a little piece of who is Shuntelle.
Okay, nice. And we also have Miss Shadian on the inside. Miss Shadian, could you introduce yourself and tell Labri who and what you are and what you're about tonight?
Oh, for certain. Good night, Library Agenda. My name is Shelley Dowridge, aka Shelley Coombs Struckman, as Fire Marshal said. I grew up in Poindor Scheme, and I'm everything library, again, like Shuntelle, all about the community. In the capacity here tonight, I am one of the co-founders of the Library International, LIMPOS. And we're here to talk about working collaboratively on something exciting.
Nice, beautiful. So I'm gonna put up the banner here, the poster, to let people know what we're talking about with the Back to School Drive. So what you guys here to talk tonight about is the third annual Back to School Supply Drive from Team Voices, and well, now we know in collaboration with LIMPO, Library International's non-profit organization. So which one of you guys want to give us a little insight as to, what exactly is the school supply drive?
Sure, I can go ahead, Shelley. You can, chime in. So the Back to School Drive first started 3 years ago. As you know, with the loss of Brother Scott, Abigail, Tina, and Olivia, it was something that just struck our community. And although I was not in Brea, at the time, I grew up with Abigail and Brother Scott in church, so they were very close, in my heart. And we've had conversations from when Brother Scott would visit the U.S. and Abigail, we stayed in contact even after I moved to the U.S. So when that massacre happened, I was so saddened and I was so hurt, and I wanted to put those hurt feelings somewhere. And I told God, whatever it is, I want to be able to continue their legacy, right, and give back to the community where they served. So that was important, and that was really the driver of how the Back to School Drive came about. And I said to myself, every year for my birthday, I want to give back to the community of Brea in their memory. So that's just a gist of where the Back to School Drive idea came from. And of course, last year was a little tough to do it because of COVID. But here we are again at the third annual drive. And it's getting bigger than I can ever imagine, because I have the opportunity to collaborate with LIMPO, and I'm gonna let Shelley take it away and just talk about what they have done in the community and the other efforts that the Back to School Drive is trying to bring together members in the community who are more fortunate to give to students who are in need. As you can imagine, with the COVID pandemic, there is a great need to help families and to help students for when they return back to school. So I saw this need, and my birthday is coming up on July 11th. And when I spoke with Shelley, I knew that this was a collaboration that needed to happen for the community of Brea.
Well said, Shuntelle. Well said. Well said. Thank you so much. Um, yes, indeed, that tragedy that struck our community, it hit close to all of us. Tina was my cousin as well, so it didn't touch just one family or two or three. It touched the entire Library family. So,
Yeah,
knowing that
Mr. Scott taught me in school. I really
exactly,
touched everyone.
Mr. Scott taught hundreds, right? So I'm glad that a seed was planted and definitely it's sprouting and growing. And Shelley, as co-founder of one of the co-founders of Linpo, you could feel free to come right in and tell us about the collaboration. And yes, I'm proud to wear my Linpo shirt tonight. All right, Shelley. So all is yours.
Thank you for wrapping it. Um, there is no. I can only echo Chantel's sentiments. You can tell how close to her heart this initiative is. As some may know, from since Limpo mobilized last year, we have been involved in a device drive and a hamper drive, and we're always looking for projects to support the community because as you know, we have other Limpo members like Renee and Kevin Chef Williams himself, as well as the other co-founders, Trini Gomes and Shuntelle Cooper, who work tirelessly to drive initiatives in the community. So this is something that we felt it's a fantastic initiative. It's been successful, and to collaborate and globalize it would be really great. So we're fortunate to have an arm of Limpo in the UK and one in Canada. So we're kind of globalizing this school supply drive to reach our internationals as far and wide as we can to support our community back in Library. I don't know if you want to add anything, Kevin.
I'm talking while on mute there. Yes, Shelley, nothing more to add. I keep saying library is love, and we continue to demonstrate it. So many initiatives coming out from our lovely village, and I'm very happy that this particular collaboration is spanning the globe. Right? We have someone was asking Shuntelle, is it Newark or New York you're in?
New York.
New York. All right. So
Yes.
I think Green was asking, right? So we have New York, we have Canada. So we have the US, we have Canada, we have London, we have Trinidad, right? So it's lovely to see this happening. So Shuntelle, I don't know if you mind telling us about the first 2 years, how it went, what you all were able to achieve, and what you plan to achieve in this third year.
Absolutely. So the first 2 years, one has been phenomenal. Just at the outpouring of love and support that I have received from my family, from friends, and from strangers, and from the community of Brea, and how they really showed up and support. So I just want to walk people through just a little bit about how I mobilize for the back to school drive in the past year.
Sure.
So in the days or weeks leading up to my birthday, right, on July 11th, I usually just let everyone know, whether it's via social media, phone, text, whatever it is, to know that this is what I want to do for my birthday. Usually on birthdays, you have everyone reaching out, asking you, what are you going to do? Are we going out to dinner? Are we going to do this? I've done it all. So I am like, this is the time where if you would like to pour into me for my birthday, I ask that you give to the back to school drive. And I would host an event where my friends and family can come together, and we would just, laugh, talk, eat some good Trini food, because, we miss the authenticity from being in Trinidad. So, as close as we can get it. And we really, fellowship And then we actually pack some book bags. So everyone brings all of their supplies and their packed book bags. And then what's really special is that I usually ask everyone to write a note to the students and put it in each backpack, encouraging them in the new school year ahead, and just letting them know that you have support of people who you might not know, who is cheering you on and thinking of you. And we know that it's not always going to be easy, but we're here to say that you can do it. So I think like that special piece people really enjoy, just writing a quick note to a student to encourage them.
Wow.
Yeah. So just, mobilizing and getting people excited, and people feel so, I feel like they're finding purpose when they're packing the book bags, right? When they're individualizing those little notes to students.
Nice. And do you mind sharing with us who are the members of Team Voices?
Well, Team Voices, I actually founded Team Voices, and I happen to be the only person that does it. And what Team Voices stemmed from is that while I was in school, I learned about sex trafficking that was happening and plaguing just New York City and all over the globe. And I'm like, how is it that I am in my 20s and I've never really heard of sex trafficking before? So I started Team Voices, which I call it's a social startup, and I go into community spaces, churches, school. I've even done a workshop in Trinidad with the netball team in Brea to educate them on the signs and risk of sex trafficking and what to look for. So it's really just me mobilizing and educating not only students but parents and the overall community about how sex trafficking is affecting our communities and what we can do to play a role in diminishing that.
Well said, well said. And I'm excited, of course, and I'm sure you are as well, to collaborate with LINPO on this one. So Shelly, if you could just chime in again and tell us, some of the conversations you and Shuntelle would have been having, and what we could expect from the collaboration, because we know LINPO's network, as we say, Library Internationals, we're out there as well, and we're able to reach people, as we say, Canada, US, etc. So I think it's something great. So could you tell us a bit more about the collaboration?
Yeah, and I really want that word to be stressed throughout, collaboration, because that's what it is. So how the involvement that LINPO would have here is that we would kind of collaborate and be an arm of this project. So I'm based in the UK, and we're going to basically go through the same set of marketing and fundraising events so that we can get donations of school supplies and obviously maybe monetary donations, etc., so that we can ship to Trinidad. And the other co-founder of LINPO would be doing the same in Canada. So we see this as an opportunity to kind of expand outside of the US, so we can reach more people and obviously ultimately have more backpacks for children there. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell. We would work on our strategy. Obviously, LINPO is a collective of a number of people. We have people in Trinidad that can mobilize activities there. And obviously we have our regular meetings, so we would work out the implementation. We have a small time frame to work with. As you can see, we're already in July. So, I mean, we would be continuously having those conversations with Shuntelle and the team of people that she has in Trinidad and LINPO to make sure that, we're aligned in getting things done throughout this period to get to Trinidad.
Well, lovely. I must say I'm extremely excited. I see Renee in the comments. Caroline, if you want to get into the comments for a little bit.
Let's start with up quickly. We have the man Nomi on the inside first, man for John tonight. Thank you, Nomi. Blessed good night, my brothers and sisters. We have, as always, Betty Jeremiah on the inside saying good night, Labra. We have Nomi helping us with our usual song check. He said we are sounding good. Thanks. Thank you, brother. We have our executive producer. No, that's Betty Jeremiah saying everything good. Thank you. But get some more producers on the inside. The staff getting bigger. I don't know if the payroll could take it. We have no the original executive producer saying good night, guys. Let's check her time. She logged in 8:01, so she's late, so she will have to dock her pay. We are taking records. She say executive lock on. Executive, we'll have a meeting about this. We have Kita Han saying good night, everyone. Good night, ma'am. As always, we have a lovely Marian who sit on inside saying good night. Oh, labby. You know, we are Nomi on the inside saying ding you late. I'll beat you tonight. So we have some office politics going on there. We have Dwayne Francis and another one of the executive producers on the inside saying good night. Good night, all. Dwayne, watching your time to 8:03. Don't worry. You see, I know all them project is ex locked in on time. Just came from work. I want to do it, we boss. You later we walk.
You all in the meantime,
Hey,
don't forget to share the live, share the love, people. As long as they're here,
we
share
have
the
a
live, share the
special
love.
one on the inside. We have Dave Pablo Connell on the inside. Good night, my lab. Folks, Dino, good to see you,
Wow.
my brother. Great to see you. If you really got to
Pablo.
have it, Dave. When you come on the agenda, Dave, you know, we need to talk about the football on the outside there. You're doing some fantastic work with those young men up in the Upper Caribbean. Their partner continue, you know. Let's now Shuntelle fill up the stream for a little bit. Let's bring her back one time. We can't do it without her. So let's add her back to the stream. And then Shuntelle, we got you back. I just want you to comments pretty quick because we have a lot tonight. We have Candice Campbell on the inside, one of the supporters of this initiative. I suppose I say,
No, that's all.
Shuntelle!
I had to stop you there. Shuntelle, you need to respond to that. You need to respond
That's
to
my
this.
Yes.
Shuntelle. Tell us about this, Shuntelle. Who's this Candice Campbell
Yes,
shouting
let
out
me
your
let
name
you
there?
know. Yes. I have to say that the back to school drive would have not been possible if it was not for Renwick and Candice Campbell. Okay, Candy is my cousin, and when I told her what was in my heart, and during that time when that event happened, she said, Shanti, we can do this. And it would not have been possible if it were not for these two. They truly have a heart for people. So I am so grateful for them.
Lovely. So
Definitely.
big up Mr. and Mrs. Campbell. Keep up the good
Yes.
work. Keep up the good work.
And we must say, Mr. Campbell, I am saying with all fair, two pillars of love at this point in time. Everything that's happening good in Labra at this point in time, not everything, but most things happening good in Labra at this point in time. You hear Renwick, you hear Candy name calling it, and the Campbell family in general are doing a fantastic job. They're exemplars in this community, and I am not ashamed to say that they are doing a beautiful job, and I want to continue getting them support. And as they say, mustn't give people the flowers when they pass on. I give them the forward now. The flowers not Renwick. Wow. If Labra had a governor, he would be a customer. And well, Madam Governor, so continue doing the work you guys do. Thank you very much. We have Renata Thompson inside saying good night. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Shuntelle.
Yeah, I
You were saying
wanted to
something?
add as well. When Shelly mentioned that this is now not only a collaboration, but a global initiative. When I started doing this back to school drive, never in my, imagination would I know that this is where it would be today. I remember the first year, starting it and telling myself, well, if I get, 50 backpacks, I'm happy. If I get 20, I'm happy too, So to see that, over the past 2 years, we've been able to give out 300 plus and tons of supplies, and to know that,
Wow.
now I'm collaborating with Limpo in Canada, in Brea, in the UK, in the US. And in addition to that, I am also a part of a sisterhood called Monate. And my leader has, told the ladies that she is matching whatever comes in for this supply. So this is global, and this is from,
Wow.
all over the world. And I am like, God is moving.
Mention again who's the person who volunteered to match the whatever you get. Can I again?
Yeah. So my other job, I work with Monet. It's a skin, hair, and wellness company. And we have built a sisterhood. And my leader, her name is Kiana. She has told the ladies in our sisterhood that, any supplies that come in, any amount of money that they donate, she is matching that. So I am super excited. The ladies have been sending their cash. And I'm really pumped because it just shows you, and I want students to know this as well, that you don't have to do something grand to impact the world or impact your community. All you have to have is something from your heart, something that is thoughtful, that you want to help someone else. And even if it helps one person, you have done a phenomenal job.
Well,
Well said.
big up to Kiana. I don't know who she is, but she's my sister now. Big up Kiana. And we hope that she can get a link to the show and Labry. Then you know that we really appreciate what you're doing. And yeah, I don't have the words to express our heartfelt gratitude to assisting our young charges at this point in time, because they are the future, and we guarantee you that we know in the future, whatever contribution you make now will go a long way to making this world a better place, because we have some amazing young men and young women that growing up right now, and that whatever support you lend them only bodes well for the future. You know? So let's run back to some of the comments. We didn't get through as much of them we would like. We had the woman Renata Thompson, aka Cully, saying good night all. Good night, Cully. Ding saying doing fancy and burn. I see you locked on. One thing she could call, I got will call her here. Let me see if she went through the groups is locked on. Well, boy, I wait not just coming for the longest while. They will have a different meeting in a different organization if you're not here. Let's see. We see the lovely Miss Renee Samuels, as always, a pleasant good night to the host and guest, Labry. Yes, Renee. Hey, right on schedule, I'm here. Hey, showing good night, Paddy. We know you're there, but you always locked on. We really appreciate support. And I don't know if Shelly mentioned it, but Showing is one of the founding members of Limpo, and he's doing an amazing job along with Limpo. You know, I always echo my sentiments. Limpo is really doing a fantastic. Not Limpo, I like to say Larry International. I would know Larry Internationals out there. They're doing a fantastic job. You know, doing Francis saying what she really well spoken. Yeah, I was mentioning that to her. Doing. A matter of fact, someone heard the voiceover I did on the ad, and they said, you know what? Stop the voiceover. Let Shuntelle do all the voiceovers for Labra agenda. So afterwards, we have now meeting with her. We'll be recruiting. You know? Newark or New York, well, that question was asked already. Deborah Sutton, the inside. Good night, Miss Deborah. As always, glad to see you. Good night, all. Dwayne say God is indeed good. And as Dwayne mentioned that Shuntelle, I want to let you know something. It's in the Bible. When Noah was having his doubts about building the ark, the Lord said, build it and they shall come. So you get your inspiration, you build something, even though you're looking for 10, 15, 20, the Lord tell you build it and they shall come. You see where it went from, I wouldn't say nothing but from a small gesture to major now. You build it, continue building, and the Lord will do the rest. Alright? Thank you, sister. We have Raga boy, the Raga man inside. Blessed night. Oh, love until boy, love until Raga. You know, it's an inspiration. We have Keaton Hunt saying great initiative, definitely. We have Renee Samuels. This collaboration demonstrates community love and service.
Correct.
For those who don't know, Renee Samuels is the PRO of the Lab Internationals. But you all have heard Renee and seen Renee speak, so you know what going on. You know, matter of fact, Chef, Renee was our very first guest on the show. We were discussing that the other day.
Yes.
And one thing I've always been taught, when you start off the right way, because when you go up from there, and Renee was the perfect ambassador, the perfect voice, everything. And we must admit we copied our style or show after, you know, from Lobby and the vibes from that group. So we know we want to always thank Renee. Renee has been doing so much in this community, not funny, you know. We have let's see.
We just can't get to say Labry. It's always Labry.
We are the PRO, so you know, she speaks properly. We let's take a couple more comments before we look off the comments. But for a while, don't worry. I'm locked on and watching. Yes, sure, we know that. We have Miss Marissa Harry saying good night. All good night, Marissa. We have Dwayne Francis saying, okay, cool. And this is the first time Ina so well. I don't know if she does be so speechless when she come on the show, but we're always glad to see her. We have no problem not see the comments. Once we see you, we happy with that.
That's when they put the GIF. That's when they put the big clapping hands or the big heart on things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She's saying it's been a long while, but pleasant good night to the panel love in the house. Yes, it's been a while, but we're always glad to see you. You know? Well, we see we have don't worry, Jermel, we see in the background they're bringing just now, you know. We wrap it up with this initiative soon. So ladies, we have you know, we wish we could speak to your whole on this project because we know it's amazing. I want to get that full support. So we will what we committed to do, Laura Agenda will continue pushing this initiative, advertising it, supporting it. We will willing to act as a point of contact. Anybody wants any information, they could go back to the show. We will post information on our page, everything. But in closing, we will let Shelly and go first for Lab International. Anything you want to add to take away from this discussion before we move on? Shelly?
Well, I just want to say thanks for having us on the Library Agenda, you know, to push this initiative forward. If the past year or so have taught us anything, is that Library have a very strong, loving, close-knit community, putting aside any sort of differences and getting things done for each other. And we believe that we're stronger together. So everyone has the same objective, you know, for Library to be, you know, that great community, that benchmark community, so that everyone can know and people can live well in this community. So, you know, that's what we have at our heart of this collaboration, and so many more things that we would be involved in with any and everyone that wants to be involved.
Yes, sister, we really appreciate it and continue doing the fantastic work you're doing in Limpo. And even outside Limpo, we know you do your other community work to build our community of Vision of Library. On behalf of Library and myself, I want to thank you for the continued efforts. Shuntelle, the new voice of the Library Agenda, floor is yours.
Hear you.
Go ahead.
So I share the same sentiments as Shelly, and I just want to thank you for having us on this platform. You know, being from Brea, my
yeah. When she comes back on, you're on mute, Marshall. Nice. When she comes back on, we'll bring her back to see the final words. You're still on mute, Callum.
Right. Oh yeah. Sorry. I'm trying to be so. She's right back one time.
Nice.
There you are, Shuntelle. Go ahead. Finish saying
I'm so sorry. I was saying that being from Brea and being able to, you know, still give back to the community who raised me just means so much to me. And, you know, I want to continue this work in whatever spheres I can. Right. So this collaboration means so much. And I hope that, you know, people will find it in their hearts to really contribute to this initiative, because it is we need to show our students that we support them, that we encourage them, not only with words, right, but with things and resources that they would need. So please, you know, if you can donate as little as you can, every amount matters. And feel free to get in contact with me. I'll provide my information. But we are just excited about this, and we hope that you are too. And I'm looking forward to really servicing a need that we have never serviced before.
Shuntelle, can you tell people how can they contribute towards the initiative?
Sure. Let's see if I remember it all. Okay.
Just look at the screen.
So I'll give 2 ways. Oh, actually 3 ways, okay? So there you have my shipping address in Brooklyn, New York, where if you're purchasing supplies online, you can just ship it to my house and I'll receive it there. The other way is through Venmo, and my Venmo name is at Telly-Steven, or my Cash App is the $intelligence711. So those are the ways that you can give. And if there is a way that's not on there, please feel free to reach out to me and we can make something happen.
Beautiful. So folks, just to repeat, if you wish to make a Cash App donation, you can go to Venmo at Telly-Steven, or Cash App at $intelligence711. Or if you wish to send goods, you can ship to 888 Troy Avenue, apartment A3, Brooklyn, New York, zip code 11203. So, and this information will be up on the Library Agenda's page. You can look back at the show, which is now can be found on YouTube. We're going to upload this program by time tomorrow. So those of you who missed it and want to review it, you can get it on Facebook on either my page, Callum Marshall, Kevin Shepwood's page, the Lobry agenda pages, the page and the group, or you can go to our Patreon site, you know it from Lobry. Or feel free to message myself or Shep directly for people who don't want to go through the searching phase, and we will send you the link directly, okay? So ladies, it was
I also want to add, Callum, before
Sorry,
we think.
by all means.
Yeah, of course. You will also find it on Linpo's page as well. And I just want you all to follow the Library Agenda page as well as the 3rd annual book drive. There's a separate page for that, right, Shuntelle? Right? I see you nodding your head there, but you're on mute, right? Right. So as we meet, you'll see more information coming up. Probably we'll have some local locations, some locations for those in Canada, locations for those in the UK. So stay tuned, guys, and you all will get the information coming to you very, very soon, early next week.
Beautiful. So, ladies, as I was saying before, thank you for coming. Thank you for gracing the Lobry Agenda. We are truly blessed to have you guys. You on the inside. Continue doing the work, Team Voices. Continue doing what you're doing, Library Internationals. You know, and we'll see each other soon. But something that is more important than all those things that myself and Shellyan have to let you guys know on Saturday. England! Go fight my team in the Euros, you know. Me and Shelly had them on the ropes on Facebook right now. Since before the tournament started fighting we. Oh, we going through, we thinking, and as all of a sudden we getting fast, they want to join the bus, but no. We want no new friends, no new friends.
No, not.
So Shelly, Saturday we have a date?
We endorse.
All right then. Say no more. All right, guys, I'll let you guys go. We'll let you be on the inside.
Thank
so good night.
I
enjoy admiring your clock in the background there. You know what I mean? I can clearly see it's after 1 in England. It's like 20. Let me see. I'm 35 minutes past 2.
Yep.
But I must admit, nobody can be late in that house with that side of that clock. All right, sister. Enjoy your side. If you go later. Shuntelle, we're gonna pick up another time. Thanks for coming, love. But I see Shuntelle trying to say one. But Shuntelle, thanks for coming. Thanks for being in our agenda. We'll see you soon, right?
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
We definitely have to have you back soon, right?
Yes.
All right, folks. We have our back show tonight. You know, as we would have seen in the ads, we have another guest tonight to come to discuss a very important initiative. Let's bring him on. The man at the moment, Jermel Pierre. Good night, Mr. Pierre.
Hey, good night, man. Night, Lobry.
Welcome to the Lobry Agenda. But before we start off,
Chef.
Respect, my brother. Welcome. You look comfortable in your setup there, man.
yeah, you also point. We're going to talk about that in another show about the journey of Jermel Pierre. He has a story going on Facebook, but I got another story for another time.
Yeah, what I like is the cactus plant. I like the cactus plant on the right, you know, the couch in the back.
Yeah, I'm coming for this. You know,
plants.
So before we start, let's show the ad so we'll bring people up to speed on what exactly we're here to discuss tonight. Fair enough, Jermel?
Yes. Hey, Lobry. This Thursday on the Lobry Agenda, we have our very own Jermel Pierre.
Hey guys, it's yours truly, Jermel Pierre, and this coming Thursday, July 1st at 8 p.m., I will be on the Lobry Agenda, where Lobry people talk Lobry business. Don't miss it.
He'll be here to discuss entrepreneurship in the 21st century with our very own Mr. Stephen McClashy.
Yes, man. So, Jimmy, a little context, a little background, and tell people who you are, what you are about, and a little question what you come to discuss tonight.
Hi, so good night. So I'm Jermel Pierre, and what we're here to discuss is entrepreneurship in the 21st century, which is an initiative by the Member of Parliament for Brea. What we have sought to do is bring together subject matter experts along with young entrepreneurs and the policymakers. What we would have seen over the last couple of years is a lot of person whether it be because of unemployment, the lack of employment opportunities, or underemployment. A lot of persons have seen a push towards entrepreneurship, and we really want to encourage it to see how we can move some person's hustle into something that is sustainable. And so that is really what is here. As a part of the panelists, we have the Minister of Youth Development and National Service. And what persons will know or may not know is that the Minister of Youth Development and National Service now has the responsibility for small and micro enterprise development, which was previously under the Ministry of Labor and Small and Micro Enterprise.
Yeah.
So it's a shift into the Ministry of Youth. So you can see that the focus is towards steering young people and developing young people who are in entrepreneurship, who have business ideas and whatnot. And we know we have a lot of them in our community. So we will also see our Member of Parliament, who's also the Minister of Labour, and one of our very own, very successful young entrepreneur in Shimon Anthony. And we've all seen how Shimon has grown from step to step. I had to tell her recently, like, I am a major admirer of her drive and the work that she's been doing, because all of us have seen it growing before our eyes, from her selling on a table to moving in a small cart, and now she has a very massive, small business that is very, very successful. And we also have from our neighboring constituency in Point Fortin, Mr. Gio, who from Geo Designs, as long as Dr. Emily Ramsahai, who is a data scientist and a lecturer at the UE 5 Island campus in artificial intelligence, and Mr. Mark Anthony Redman, who's a consultant. So, yeah.
All right, it sounds like you have a high-power team there, Jermel.
So, Jermel, tell us something. Sorry, Chef, you finished?
No, you go ahead.
Yeah, so because the question may be asked by these quote-unquote young entrepreneurs, what stage of the entrepreneurial process would this more cater to? Meaning that, you may have someone with an idea and they don't know how to engage this idea. You may have someone who's just starting off and they don't know where the next step is, or you may have someone who's been going through this for years, or I think that's the second question to ask. So could you answer that?
I think what we're catering for is all levels of entrepreneurship, whether you're at what we would call the incubator stage of the entrepreneurial process, which is you're now starting off. All you know is that if you, let's say, for example, you're someone who makes something and you're selling it, but you're just doing it to make $1 day to day. So you're at the incubator stage and you don't have much structure to your organization. You may not even be a registered entity, but it's something that's working to feed you or to help you get by. But it's something that if much effort and thought is placed into it, could really blossom into something really beautiful. And whether you've already gotten past that incubator stage, it's also there for you, because then we can learn from your experience what have we not been able to do to assist you to succeed, and what can be done. And these are things that I'm encouraging persons to get in, particularly also on the field, so you can ask the questions, find out what resources are there for you to access that may not be known to the general public, that we may not pay attention to. So we're catering for all levels.
Okay. Another concern or question that may come is, as we all know, the present economic situation in Trinidad and Tobago with the COVID-19 around the world, as a matter of fact. And the question may be asked by some on the, as we say, different stages of the entrepreneurial process. What's the sense, so to speak? Because the country is quote unquote on lockdown. It is almost impossible for a business person to access capital investment financing. And even if you do, how can you run a business in this present time? Because the answer may be probably wouldn't last forever, and we see the country is supposed to open back up borders later this month. But as we all know, our responses are, for want of a better phrase, reactive as to what the figures are. So we all know COVID is here to stay, and we may be on lockdown for the rest of the year or maybe next year. No one can say with definitive that no, it won't happen. So what is the, I don't know, make someone more confident, more encouraged, more enthused to take part in this process Saturday, as to looking forward to a brighter future?
That is actually a really good question, Callum. And I would say to persons who would say, what's the sense? I would say, why not? Because yes, we might in fact really have to live with COVID and adapt to the times that COVID brings to us. However, I don't think that we'll be on lockdown forever. I think that in moving forward, as you see, the government would have outlined a process of vaccinating to operate and all of these things to roll back out our economy. But what I would also say is that in times of crisis, there are also time for opportunities. And what you would hear from some of these young people, in particular, one of our speakers would have mentioned to us that, yo, guess what? COVID-19 was actually the best thing for their business, because it helped give them that drive and cut, because whilst most established business would have been closed, they were there and able to do deliveries and move about, and they never knew that, okay, this would have blown up in such a way. So how do they sustain that growth? How do they sustain that momentum that their business is getting now when more competition perhaps arise? I think persons in times of difficulty, and nobody's hiding that, would really tap into their innovative means. It's almost human nature. We adapt to survive, and that's how it is. So how do you now take that hustle? Because a lot of persons also would have just started a business when the COVID hit because they lost their job, or they wasn't getting enough hours on work, or whatever the case may be, and they decided, oh, let me do this. Now, how do you take that and sustain it even through COVID and past COVID? So yeah.
Okay, I understand. Innovation and creativity is at the heart of adjusting, as they say, when the going get tough, the tough get going, so to speak. One of the biggest concerns I think the average businessman at any stage would be, as we spoke about before, capital investment. Because you can have the greatest idea in the world, you need some sort of capital investment to launch, kick off, sustain your business. I know this is the moderator, not as I suggest, you are the moderator for the program on Saturday. But I don't know if you could give some insight if there will be any discussions on government accessing, supplying business grants or private sector or anything along those lines.
Yes, all those discussions would be had. Another thing that as you mentioned, that the Ministry of Youth Development and National Service also has under its responsibility cooperative development, and cooperative development also encompass the credit unions, and what is the role of our local credit unions in assisting our local businesses to succeed. Those are things that we're going to dive into. How can government, and what government policies already exist, and sometimes there's a gap between the policies and the reality. How do we bridge those gaps? So obviously, you don't want to give out too much of the discussion and the conversation, because we want to leave room for the panelists and everyone who can come in to discuss and really have a take on it. And what I want to encourage persons from our community is to try and get in onto the Zoom too, because we want to hear from persons. So if you have a question for the minister, if you have a question for one of the technocrats, if you have a question for one of the entrepreneurs on the panel, you can come in and we'll bring you up live. You'll be on video and really get that pulse on the ground. So yeah.
Oops. Yeah. Well, I like the rapport so far, and what we're speaking about, So I am just being devil's advocate, so to speak, because I am one of the believers in entrepreneurship and creativity in Brea, because I do believe the only way, or at least the best way for our community to go forward, is through economic growth. And I believe the economic growth has to come from the inside. I'm just echoing the sentiments because I like to consider myself as a man on the ground. So outside of those businesses that were predisposed to diversify in this time, to take advantage or at least survive in this COVID-19 time, other businesses are languishing behind. So I'm just expressing those views, and I really appreciate how you are able to articulate because this is what this program is about, where Larry people talk Larry business. And we really want to, because let's be real, the average person seeing it, yeah, whatever, yes, what are you doing for me? So, these questions I get was to getting out, to hear from you another voice as to why it's important that we log in and we take part in these programs, because at the end of the day, government, how it is supposed to work, ideally, I like how you made the phrase about the reality and the things in place. Because, example, if I were to go into credit unions, I have a real issue, a real peeve with what credit unions in Trinidad will have become. Yeah. And the tenants which they were formed on, I'm sorry that I am of the opinion and the feeling, I say without fear, that credit unions are going towards banks. So I'm glad to hear you speak about that. There's a disconnect, and at least the government is recognizing that there's a disconnect between what the regulations are, what the guidance are, and what's actually happening. Because just to give one example, there's an issue I have with the banks and the credit union, whereas they would have offered COVID-19 relief on loans. Fine. So tell people their loans will be put off for 3 to 6 months, whatever the case may be. But if it is you don't meet a very conscientious CSR, on average, when I speak to people, they are not telling you that your interest is still running. And a lot of time when you check the interest from credit union loans and bank loans, better you pay a loan, because when they put it up for 3 months and you calculate the amount of compound interest going on your loan, you pay almost 50 to 75% of what the loan would have been, and your mortgage or your loan is still waiting on you there. And then on top of that, it goes past your maturity date. So when you pass your maturity date, there's another interest added on. So people ask questions when you go to the bank and credit union and find out, read the fine print, and unfortunately it's in your contract, and too many of us sign contracts, big paper, because we want the money and we don't read everything. So sometimes you really can't be angry with the banks or the credit union because you did sign it. But I'm saying, as Jermel would have mentioned, the reality of it, we know the average person reading the last fine print of it. So be careful. Sometimes you make decisions without having all the information, and you will go back and you want to kill the poor CSR in front. Oh, you tell me this, you want that, so and so. And it's unfair to them because they are just a branch, an arm of the organization. They don't make policies. But it's our responsibility to know as much as possible. Where we can share the information like we have discussion now, we will try. But enough about the credit union, the bank, and me. Back to Jermel. So, Jermel, tell people.
I just want to mention, you know that information real in depth, boy. Like,
no, I'm saying without fear. I went through it. It hurt me. I was hurt. Luckily, I was advised by my lawyer. I mean, I don't know she name. I know you interfere. My lawyer, don't get in that. But she advised me when we were discussing finance. She said, "Are you sure about that?" And she asked, and when I went and specifically asked direct question, then the CSR informed, "Oh yes, we will pause the loan under the COVID-19 relief, but your interest is still running." So I take out my little pen and paper. But what the hell? I paid, just using a rules figure, if I had to pay $100, the interest would have added up to be $85. So better pay my loan. I didn't forget it one time. And then when I realized my loan would have made maturity, so I've gone over. And once you cross maturity, there's no provision in the loan pausing cessation for your maturity dates. And you know, any loan, once you go past maturity, you pay extra interest. So the banks and credit unions, some of them, I don't want to say all, I don't want to use a paintbrush, but they are, I have to say, being a bit disingenuous with people. But I have to also be fair with them. It's in your contract. But I want to also what the reality of what Jermel was talking about. Let's be real. When all who have taken loan before, they get a big 6-page document with font about size 11. You want the money to do whatever you're having thing. Who actually sits down and goes through each and every fine print and memorizes it? So there's a catch-22. So as I say, we're not here to talk about that. I want to focus on Jermel and what we're here to talk about tonight. So Jermel, just jog people's memory on the guests that are coming on Saturday, also the time and date, and tell them how to get on it. Now, I know you sent me the information. I wasn't able to upload all, but I promise I will upload all on the page so people can see the Zoom link, because I think that's the one that most people don't have. And also we'll upload the Facebook link. But go ahead and talk about it, Jermel.
Nice. Just before I go there, I just wanted to indulge on your point a little bit because, for instance, if you're a young entrepreneur or a young business person, you go to the credit union and you want a loan. They ask you, well, yeah, what $50,000 loan? Give you 25. Somebody who's just a now starter, they might even have that $25,000 on them. So it is some challenges there. And it definitely some things that has to be worked on. But there's also
Oh, Jermel, he had a little chef is still there. He'll come back just now, folks. He's right there. We see just a little freezer, the speed there.
Yeah.
But folks, as we say, we're not knocking back on criteria. Let me be clear on that. We just, we are customers, we are members, we are citizens, and if we see something that we think could be adjusted, we should talk about it. This was supposed to be good, healthy discussion. So I go with my friends and family who work in the credit union banks be calling me afterwards to say about talking to them. No. I'm just saying.
But I must say I'm extremely happy that you shared it, because it's very vital information that a lot of people may not be aware of. Right? So respect for that.
Yeah, look,
Yeah,
what we'll do in the meantime, while Jermel sorts out his program,
yeah.
let's go through some of the comments now.
Lovely.
I'm gonna go off where we let's see, let's go coming off a Shuntelle. Right, let's start with a fan on the inside, not the Lab Agenda fan. Yeah. We just want to say a fan. Moving on. Very true column by Mr. Rodisha Sylvester.
Good night, Rodisha.
Mark Lewis was saying, Pax brother. Goes Andrew saying, sense column, plenty people don't know.
Correct.
We see Betty Jeremiah saying, true, read the fine print, read, right? Kevin Rang saying column dropping some knowledge. Appreciate, brother.
For real.
Goes saying, also, aspects of financial literacy, especially for hustlers / small business owners, will this program cater to this? Well, yes, I would really like to know that. So when Jermel comes back on, we can take that up. We have Mr. Sylvester saying, you all should get a representative from Antilles on the show in the future. You know what? That is actually a brilliant idea.
We did discuss that,
yeah. Chef?
Yeah, we did discuss so a while ago, so we'll definitely follow up on it.
Yeah, we in fairness, we did have our financial advisor here, Miss Boudou. Oh, she was brilliant, Samantha Boudou. I must say she was brilliant.
Yeah.
But she came as a more personal advisor. So as we always say, when I hear two sides of the coin, so let's bring somebody from the bank or the credit union to here and give back on it, because we would be disingenuous and unfair for us to quote unquote feel like we're knocking them and don't hear from their point of view. I think it's fair.
We will get in touch with Miss Ann Tittle.
All right.
And we're going to link it, don't worry.
Shall I bring OJ too? Mark Lewis saying, ask for an interest waiver as opposed to a loan deferral. Okay, hey, some sound advice here. So, Mark, good looking on party. We have Go saying, also, will it be helping in the registration process the format of paying tax assistance with setting up accounts with various financial institutions? Go say it heavily as always. So once we get Jermel back on, we'll figure out that. Let's see. We took this comment from Miss Harry before. We have Karen Legal Boy, Farm Marshall and Kevin. Oh, this is the wonderful host of All United.
All United, boy.
And we definitely planning to have All United, All Man United Library Agenda, because this Man United is Library Agenda is United. Yes, yo.
Without apology.
Unhappy, and then the iPad of Chelsea show.
Yeah. Without apology.
We have Go saying, what is the forum actually about? We've heard the panel, but what is the final focus of this program? Well, Go to answer that question. It is a platform to introduce, help, assist young entrepreneurs in the 21st century. So that's why they have these various speakers. They will just speak on different aspects of entrepreneurship. And that's it. Oh, here's Jermel. So Jermel will take this question one time. Jermel, you came in perfect timing. Goes and is asking, what is the forum actually about? We heard about who's on the panel, but what is the final and focus of this program? So the floor is yours immediately.
Okay, yes. Nice. So the focus on the panel is on encouraging and encouraging young persons and persons who interested in business and entrepreneurship, encouraging them in that field and supporting them, pointing them to the resources, pointing them to, all the experience of entrepreneurs who are in the field, and, basically facilitating their progress and their growth. So this is what we've seen also is a lot of persons would have started a little business, and to them it might just be a hustle. But that hustle, once the work is put in, could end up being a potential net employer of persons, whether it be from the community, and as we encourage more and more persons into entrepreneurship and into developing their business, we can create our own for ourselves. We can create. Let's be frank and honest here. In our community that we live in, one of the major problems that we have is that of unemployment, and the global reality is that it's not something that is in isolation to Trinidad or to the region. The world of work in the 21st century is completely different from the world of work as experienced by older generations, right? So we've established that as something that is very factual, right? Now, we have failed in some instance to actually prepare persons for the world of work as is today. And one of the areas that we can, in fact, combat that employment crisis, because if you're a young person, if you are qualified and you get a job, is either you're underemployed, or the contract situation is not something that is sustainable for you, because you might be on a 3 months contract and you can't get nothing from that. But you have a skill, or you're very talented, or you could produce something, or you're good at sales, and you could really focus your energy on your own. And that is what it's about, encouraging persons to start their own so that it can help it to develop, and we can help our brothers, another community member gain some sort of employment, whatever the case may be. It's about pinpointing where the resources are, bringing the resources to those that actually need it.
Okay. We have another question here from Candice Campbell. She's asking, is there a focus on online business startups for product development, launch, payment processing, marketing, customer service? How does the forum translate practically? Can you touch on that?
Right. So now all of these that we're here, all these questions that we're getting here tonight, is exactly what we need persons to come in, discuss directly to the minister with responsibility for small and micro enterprise, how your policies in reality may not be practicable for the hustler on the ground. How do you make policies or design policies that can actually assist the young entrepreneur? What are some of the needs of young entrepreneurs? What do young entrepreneurs want the focus to be able to assist them? So just in terms of my background, my background is international trade, and a lot of persons tend to have the pigeonhole or the narrow-minded vision that your resources can only be accessed via government. But we have regional and national institutions that has a lot of grant funding available there, but you just need to know how to tap into it. So one example I will use is, like, for example, the Caribbean Export Development Company, Carib Export. They, for example, recently launched a grant scheme for businesses that would have been affected by the COVID, and it's up to the tune of $15,000. How do you prepare and yourself towards accessing these grant facilities, grant proposals? So it's a forum where you tap into the knowledge of the panelists the experience of entrepreneurs and how can you apply it to yourself. Now, I saw Ghost asking how, if you bring back up his question. Right. I'll read this question. Facilitated how? As my aforementioned question, financial literacy assistance with registration of business, simple format and paying taxes and NIS information on relevant government assistance grant. And on yes. And actually there has been discussion for another follow-up forum. Hopefully this one could be in person with regards to financial planning and all those sort of stuff. So yeah.
Well, you made mention of something I want to go back to. I want to make a plug. You made mention about some people have the pitch and hold, using your quote, vision of that thinking, financing, and other resources.
You have to widen your
options. Yeah. There's an old saying, something you don't know. And this is a personal plug, peeve. I think we as a government, because we all are members of government, at least how it's supposed to look ideally. We really need to drive education programs, because now I would suppose and assume and I realize that this program Saturday is a part of that, right? And I hope it continues. So I don't know if I'll be able to make it on Saturday, but definitely one of the things I want to touch on. Jimmy, that's why you're freeze.
Yeah, no, I'm listening. That's my attentive look. Every time I'm listening, persons ask me, you're there? But that's me when I'm paying.
Yeah. You're freezing that perfect silhouette. That's another one. Back to what I was saying though.
Yeah.
I am quite aware of lots of aspects in life, not just business. There are a lot of grants, facilities, information out there. Even what we are speaking about with the financial institutions, it's just not given out. And if you don't know what questions to ask, you can't be held against anyone for not asking it. It's simple as I say. If you don't know, most people don't know that don't know. So what I would make a mention in this forum on Saturday, if I can make it, I'll try to make that time to be there, is that we really need to roll out information and have a serious drive in rolling information, because I'll go back to 2020, because I'm quite aware of both the government and private organizations such as the PNM and the UNC and the NNV and the different political party. When they want to get the information out there, they get it out there. So we had to, especially in Lobre now, coming to Lobre, we had to set up some programs, the people who didn't know, and get the information out there for the people. So at least if they don't make use of the information, okay, we go deal with that situation. But as you say, all these facilities to access, example like the UN, CARICOM, so on and so forth, people simply just don't know. So they wouldn't begin to know where to
go. And also in business, also networking is also very important. So if you can get to learn from others and pinpoint from others and follow up after, it's also very important.
Look at some comments from Ghost here. All your follow through on this, that's some good stuff. Okay, great. Ghost are going to be some good stuff. We have Sheena Mohammed saying they also have angel investors.
Yeah.
Great, well done, good information. We have a problem with information coming from the MP's office, as we all know. Jermel, if you want to touch it, or you could go ahead. Good luck.
Yeah.
You break up at the right time, but you're going there, boy.
No, I'm also reading his other comments as well.
No, take the first one.
Yeah. With regards to information coming out of the MP office, I can understand that, and I trust that the member of parliament will work towards that. But at the end of the day, I'll be honest with you guys. I am here to address this particular issue, right? And I don't want to stray away from the what we're discussing here at point. And it's a valid point that he's brought up, and I would communicate that to the best of my ability, as I always do. And I would tell you, and let me just say this. I would always look out for the community that has basically grown me up. So I clearly understand a lot of the problems. I'm Labrie just as anybody else from Labrie. I see a lot of the problems. I know a lot of the issues, and so I understand. So what I'm here to discuss again is entrepreneurship in the 21st century, and this is to me a really good initiative, because what we want to do is that what I've experienced is that a lot of persons who would start a hustle or start a business, genuinely the majority of them will not survive. And the goal here is to capture for example, we have met with a group with Vanessa, Edmond, shout out Venny and the young entrepreneurs inside Labrie and stuff, and in Labrie. And you realize that, we have so much of talented persons in our community. We have so much of persons who are so creative and could create product that could stand the test of time. But for the most part, that is what they know. They know how to make something. They know some persons, I know how to make this and sell this or whatever, but they need the assistance and the wherewithal and the knowledge to know how do they take that talent and that drive that they have, that ability, and take it to the next step. And for anyone who is in this field and wants to get assistance, I can, even on my personal level, I done in my private capacity as a trade consultant, is to help persons access grant funding, do grant proposals, and understand markets. If you're somebody who are exporting, importing, you're an established business and you want to penetrate a different market, that's my forte. But yeah, so I hope that answers those questions, and I hope girls doesn't think that, hey, I ducking he question or whatever, but we're here to discuss.
No, well, actually, he did say right afterwards, thanks for the show. Yeah. I know about this program because the layman and hustler would not have known. So he is agreeing with you, okay? Yeah. Ms. Campbell is enjoying the show, you can say by her emoji. Goes to say he's not straight back. Nobody's straight back either, he's straight.
No,
he also said, because without the show, I would have never known about this program. I'm keeping it in subject pack. Well, I would have to plug in there and say, in fairness to Jermel, Andy and B's office, they did contact the Labrie Agenda and asked us to help them advertise the program on Saturday, and we offered them to come on the program and push it someone. They off the bat, they accepted the invitation and they're here. So we had to say that they are, trying their best to get the word out there. So
and Ghost, we hear you.
Sorry?
I said, and Ghost, we hear you.
Yeah. We have Mr. Mara Sullivan saying good night, Labrie. Good night, Mr. Mara Sullivan. We have Kanisha Pierre on the inside. Well, I need to discuss stuff with you. But boy, good luck. We ain't getting that.
Kanisha knows I saw #1 employee too, eh?
You understand?
That's why I say we ain't getting that. Like family, business, all that thing happening. So
yeah.
Look at another one of your fans. Well, we still ain't getting that either. Mr. Vesta saying good interview, Jermel. So good interview, pal. We ain't getting that again. We still far from them talk. Mr. Trevor Skippy and all saying blessings, everyone. Good initiative, nice man. Kanisha putting on our but we know better than that. Cara George saying blessed night to my Labrie family. Good night, Miss George. We have the CEO on the inside. Good night, brothers. Good night, Mr. CEO.
What's that?
We are the inside saying good job, cousin. Well spoken and always proud of you. Whatever your fans comment, they rescue boy.
My fans.
I'm Sean Brown boy. Mr. Sean Brown boy saying good night, people. Great job, guys. Yeah, man. Sean, keep up the work you're doing. We know we're doing behind the scenes. We can talk it all on the show, but brother, you're doing a fantastic job yourself, right? Kanisha saying need to get my source out. Ah boy. So Jermel, what is the official source of the 21st Century Entrepreneurship show on Saturday? What is the official source of the show?
I have no official source. Guys, are they trying to put me up?
Look, we come to the rescue, man.
I like that. Well, you know,
Well,
Labra's love. Let me ask a quick one there, Jermel.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah, go ahead,
Right?
Chef.
I seen Mark Anthony Redman, right? Organizational development coach and change management specialist.
Yes.
Excellent. I could see that clear, right? But I'm also seeing, and a lot of people may not have heard about him, Dr. Emil Ramsahai, data scientist and lecturer in artificial intelligence. I'm
Yes.
very curious. I mean, I could come up with probably some reasons as to why he's on the panel, but I would love to hear from you why you would include a data scientist and a lecturer in artificial intelligence.
It's a
I love
her.
it.
It's a her.
Is that her? Sorry,
Yes,
Emily.
yes.
It's Emily. Sorry. Yes.
Emily Ramsahai, yes. Emily is actually one that she's actually a lovely lady, actually. And as I said, her experience also is in finance as well. She has a company and she does her which she will discuss as opportunities for persons in terms of forex and whatever. And she, as a artificial intelligence persons, if you're talking about one of, I think this this popular Chinese businessman, and he says one of the most valuable thing that we have out here in the business world is data. Data is the most important. Without data, you don't know where you might be spinning top and out, and data can help you get ahead. So if you know the information, if you know the market, if you know what is something that can help you get ahead, if you have the information beforehand and you realize that, wait, I might have a little competitive or comparative advantage if I start doing this, or if I start marketing to this particular sector or grouping. So yeah, that is, I think somebody like that, she would be able to get into all of those stuff.
Nice, man. We're talking about
Jack Ma about data.
Jack Ma,
That's the owner and CEO of Alibaba.
Alibaba,
Yes,
you're on the ball, yeah.
I don't say that had to be Jack Ma you're talking about. Let's go through some of the comments before we close up, because I would love to see a whole night. We are having a great conversation with Jermel. And Jermel, you have to come back. Oh, Jermel, we want to get your piece of advice here from the library agenda. We expect great things from you in library. And when you move on, when you go into parliament, I noticed this switching from library to library. When you're in parliament and when you're outside there, we mandate you is library.
Listen to me, Carlum. If you ever align with me, obviously I'm someone who I know to communicate to anybody, right? So if you need me to get down into the library thing, trust me, I know very much how to get down into that. But I know how to change my hats. Don't worry.
Code switch. We call it code switch.
And you keep calling me Jermel. It's Jermel.
Jermel.
Yes,
boy, I watch you. Boy, Jermel. Rasta. There you go, there, Rasta. Jermel. Right. Awesome interview, Jermel Pierre. Solid information shared. Good two micers, Jermel. Let's see. In reference to financial literacy, what aspect will the panel be touching on? Also, marketing aspect of promoting the business that shows the interest in this panel.
Right. So we will be touching on it, and if persons get in, again, I could sit here and discuss the whole panel discussion. But one of the key things is to open up the conversation, open up the information sharing, put information that persons may not be familiar with. That's where it's going to start. Now, the panel discussion is only an hour and a half, and we will never cover everything within an hour and a half. But as Ghost rightfully said earlier, is the follow through. So if we can make sure and have different follow through sessions and whatnot for different persons in the community interest group, then I think then that is a step in the right direction, and that's where we need to go. We need to make sure and target the persons, understand what is the need, understand where we need to assist individual and help to bring the information, bring the assistance and guide them so that we ensure that I want everybody in my community to be successful. Yeah, I want my sister who's selling her sauces, I want her to expand. I see Shimon doing excellent stuff with her pizza. I see Venny and her group. I see nail techs. I see persons who making bread and selling, and it warms my heart because you're like so much of potential. but we don't want it to just be having to be a hustle all the time. We want persons to be able to plan and execute. Let me just engage just one little thing. For example, when I was in university and I was studying, the government I would have taken a student loan. And this was an issue that I always had with government agency and financial institutions, is that I was taking a student loan, which was the help loan, would have been something where the government would have stand the security for you. You didn't need to put up anything major as security for your loan. The government stand, and every year you go for a loan, they deliver the funds in tranches. And I'm saying, if we have institutions and organizations that can work with young entrepreneurs who may not have the wherewithal in terms of business savvy, and we work for them by setting goals after goals and make sure that they meet certain criteria, then the credit unions and the banks need not fear whether their money will be gone down the drain or whether they'll be wasting an investment. Because a lot of persons will go through the whole education system and then realize that the job market isn't the one that they expected and might have to dive into entrepreneurship. And we've educated persons, and persons will have developed skills, and now they want to contribute without saying, oh, you educate me, you have to give me a job too. So persons want to create their own now. So how do we facilitate them? You understand? Because their success will also be our success. Because if we have a system in place like that is working rigorously, we will know that we need them to succeed and to survive in order to get back our investments, not so? So we can discuss all of these issues at length. I could discuss this whole day. I could discuss so much thing whole day. But yeah.
Well spoken. And on that note, we are looking at the time. We concentrate and we going on and on and on. Well, great things must come to an end. But I really want to applaud you on your passion, and also applaud, send our regards to the panel who will be appearing on Saturday. God spare life. And we really hope that you guys have a great interaction, great participation. As I said, I'll make efforts to be there myself.
Yes.
And also, more importantly, we hope that it goes on, because that hour and a half, we haven't even had a discussion engaging what we're going to talk about Saturday. We're just talking about the outside, and we get into it. All right. And one thing I want to ask about, I'll plug again. Let's remember Netco. Netco, I believe, is defunct. Netco was in charge of entrepreneurship.
It's not defunct. Netco is very much. It's very much.
But boy, I would swear defunct. But as we say, we can't go into all that right now.
Yeah. But what I will encourage persons though is to get in on the conversation, get in on the live, and don't be afraid. Just as how people are throwing the questions at me, don't be afraid to ask the questions to the policymakers. Don't be afraid to ask the questions to the experts. You understand? That's how we'll get the information. That's how we would know. And where as an entrepreneur, if you're an entrepreneur and you have been able to experience some level of success, but you believe that the experience could have been a lot more smoother had there been certain incentive or initiative in place, don't be afraid to come. Bring that up, discuss it, and let us go on with helping a lot of persons who have this interest in becoming young businessmen and women.
Right, so we're looking at Saturday, July 3rd. I see in here from 12:30 to 2 p.m. So just remind us, Jermel, it's on Facebook and Zoom.
It's on Facebook and Zoom.
Right, so just remind us on how we could get on.
Right, so you can get on. The link is there. It's on the Ministry of Youth Development's Facebook page, Ministry of Labor's Facebook page, the Member of Parliament for Lobby Facebook page. It's on my Facebook page. Will be shared lively. It's Callum said he would share it on Library Agenda. We will have shared it, and the link for the live and the link for the Zoom is there. But if you want to get in on the Zoom and you want to be part of the discussion as well, because in the question and answer segment, get in on the Zoom. The Zoom is open, but it's not endless Zoom, so a certain amount of persons might be able to get in on the Zoom. So I would encourage persons to get in before the Zoom full up.
Right, because of course this is a national program, not just a library program.
Yes.
All right, so yeah, so all they get in
I
early.
would tell you it's a program that's born out of library. So
very good, excellent initiative.
Okay, well let's run through some of the comments and we close up. Okay, yeah. So there were certain big data, big analytics on point. Nice.
Correct.
Candice Campbell saying really wonderful show, Callum and Chef. Well done on your growth, impact, and influence. We have Mr. Trevon Skippy Arnold saying, I love the questions and energy. People should come out on the Zoom and pose these questions to the panelists. Jermel was touching on that. Mr. Vesta saying, social media has a lot of analytics and data that persons can tap into as well. Very good point, ma'am.
Excellent.
Sheena Mohammed saying, data analytics in the 21st century, yes.
Right, the people know.
We have Gillian Francis saying, God bless him in what he set out to achieve. Yes, ma'am. Ghost Andrew saying, what's the follow-up programs lined up and the quantity of the projected program, if any? It was saying,
sorry. If you tune in on Saturday, they will get the answers to these questions, 100%.
Yes, workshops and stuff. Those are things that we can work on bringing and stuff and hope. Yeah, so.
Yeah, man. Yes. We have Carol George saying, best interview, guys. Thank you, Carol. We have Go saying, I want to know what the follow-up of this program after this panel discussion, because this panel discussion by itself will not have the desired effect for up and coming small business person. Fair enough, goals, and as we said, we're looking forward to have follow-ups after the program on Saturday, and also as you can see, Library Agenda from time to time we do bring in different aspects of financial education, different business people we do bring in. So this is a continual process for us, and we expect it and we hoping there will be a continual process for the government.
Agreed.
Yes. Ms. Betty Jeremiah saying, very interesting show. As usual, I always learn something new. Every Tuesday night, you guys are doing a fantastic job. Thank you, Ms. Jeremiah. We really, really appreciate your support, because we always say it could be anywhere, but you choose to be here with us, and we really, really appreciate that. We have Ina saying, love the program tonight. All the best on moving forward in helping the young businesses and people in development on becoming entrepreneurs. And also saying, come on and ask the Minister Ghost Andrews. I agree with that. We have Ms. Jeremiah saying, good night, Library. Ms. Sutton saying, great job, Mr. Pierre. Keep up the good work. Mohammed saying, very informative, great financial knowledge shared. We have Ms. Francis saying, God bless him in what he has set out to achieve. All right. And his goal to come. We have Mr. Sean Brown saying, we want to say I have a lot of questions. Nice, man. Like what here today.
Good.
Kanisha Pierre saying it is a very informative interview. Agreed. Go saying I have my business to keep alive. I don't have to. Don't worry, Go. So you know all that we know goes. Go says love. Go's gonna be right there. Maxine saying Larry, nice job, Mr. Pierre. Thanks for all the info. Continue blessing all.
Thanks, Sonia.
We have Brandon Pierre saying great job, guys. Miss Samuel saying another great show. We have Ding saying great show tonight, guys. Execs endorse. Ding saying great job, and the entire panel was great. And Go saying all in all good initiative. So you see, in the end, Ghost is loving it. You know how to describe Ghost as? A pineapple, rough on the outside but sweet on the inside.
I will tell you this: in any community, any environment, we need persons like Ghost.
Correct.
Definitely, no argument about that.
Well, it is say things that people may be shy to say.
But not that boy. But Jimmy, you wrap up short us. You're here. We always have the quote of the day. We have two quotes. This was more geared towards the first initiative we are discussing. Alone we can do so little. Together we can do so much. You know, and reviewing what we discussed on the third annual back to school drive. And guys, let's collaborate, let's come together, let's continue getting our job done. Also, as I'm talking about that, I want to continue talking about the community shop which is set up by Aaron's Minimat, aka Shandy. It's going well. Library, I'm really proud of you guys. Amazing work. Continue putting it out there. I was lucky to be there today. I went and and see the people who run it. I spoke to Miss Avian and she said it's going well. The response is well, and she's seeing families who she know, could usually love and come in. And remember how it's supposed to work, folks. When you come in, right, if you have time and need, take. When you catch back your leg, so to speak, add back to it, because this is an ongoing project. So you want to keep it nice. We stress, I don't want to eat off my head, but we don't overdo it too. Go if you need and take, but don't make it into, if you don't need it, not because you're looking to do something extra. No, it's not for that. It's to help sustainability. Let's be reasonable with each other. Let's not be overbearing. If you go and take something lunchtime, your wife go back 4 o'clock, your daughter go back 12 o'clock in the night, even take something again. It's not that. If you need help, make one good, take where you take. We ain't stopping nobody, no embarrassment scene, nothing like that. But we have to control it and be reasonable with each other, right? I don't kill me for saying it, but the reality, as we say, right?
It is what it is. In Cub Scouts, we say, think of others before yourself.
Yeah.
Right? So it's
just want to mention the library agenda, our hamper pickup drive-by is still on. What we are doing, we don't want to have a duplicity of effort, so we are committed. Anything we pick up, we're going to put it on the community shelf. So some people, because of the COVID-19, may want to restrict their movements, and we understand. We will take the I don't say the risk. We do it in a controlled manner, as we said. If you have something you want to send to the community shelf, put it in a bag, put it on your ledge, on your gate, call us, we'll come and pick it up. Obviously, put in full protocols, face masks, you sanitize it, social distancing, and we make sure it gets to the right spot. When you make a financial donation, you can send it through us or send directly to Shandy, whichever, because we have a lot of different arms in Lobby, Limpo, no use left behind. Shepherds always say, don't call name because I will leave out people, but a lot of organization groups doing things. We're not looking for no fame. You don't have a pass-through library agenda, but continue doing what you're doing. And we want to help that community shelf, but you could also continue doing your work. Once again, pick up the man Gary Doyle. I could never forget that donation he made of the 100 bag pounds of potato. Hey, Gary, I feel a lot of people. Brilliant work, my brother. Continue doing what you're doing. Also, before we go, another quota idea, we had more than one, and this is going towards the entrepreneurship 21st century program we have on the weekend, which says entrepreneurship isn't just a label, it's a lifestyle, by Richard Branson. This is the guy who owns Virgin Airline. And listen again, if this guy who is super successful says entrepreneurship isn't a label, it's a lifestyle, understand what he's saying. And well, the man goes, well, no, we're talking about it, because he says, don't hustle, do it. He definitely makes a lifestyle. So, kudos to him. Also, when talking about lifestyle, we have to pick up the Fit Doctor. The Fit Doctor is now a proud ambassador, arm and hammer, boy.
Big up.
Labry, boy.
We're so proud of this brother here. I cannot stress how much we're proud of him. The man Ronald Hampton, aka Jamba, aka the Fit Doctor, is putting in the work and is recognized by international brand, Arm & Hammer. He's a brand ambassador. I think people need to understand what a brand ambassador is. These people have looked at the work the Fit Doctor putting in and realized, what? We are willing to put this man's face, this man's work, in an international brand, because he thinks he reflects the principles and the watchwords and everything of Arm & Hammer. So, the boy out there, he gets you. So, Fit Doctor, continue doing. You're making Labry proud. Continue, brother. We really feel good. Also, tomorrow night, after we make Bacchanal, we get you. Marcus Joseph, aka Lobo, is called to lead against Montserrat in the Gold Cup tomorrow night.
Yes.
People stop what you're doing on your TV, and let me go on real bad for Marcus, because I am putting him up, not my head, my boy on that block. Marcus going to bring it home tomorrow. He's been out there struggling, working hard. Fit Doctor again, because I could give you a little inside story. TTFA saw the video of Marcus working out, and was one of the deciding factors to bring him on the team to go on this tour now, because they had the concerns, because he wasn't involved in the last team, with whether or not he was fit and ready, because we all know the challenges for athletes in COVID-19 time. But Marcus worked, he never gave up, he continued working, and the Fit Doctor put him out there, Labrador there, push it some more, and Marcus out there, and it's going to do us pro. So Marcus, good luck, brother. Good luck, brother. Good luck. The full library is fully behind you. We're not trying to go behind you, but library, especially capital of heaven, we're behind you, Marcus. So continue doing your work, brother. All right. So I see we have 10 quick comments. So let me take them quick before we lock it off, right? Let's see. Yes, now I want to get catch it from where we last dropped it off. Yes, now where we Ghost was all Ghost was saying all and all good initiative, right? I think that's what we locked off. Yes, really saying yes, we need pineapples like Ghost and juice is true ready. You know, Miss Jeremiah Burke Dog, Sonia saying love again. You're right, Callum. But boy, Kamira John, good night, Kamira. Got to see her. She's saying good night. All this another entrepreneur in Lobby. For those who don't know, Renee saying big up the fit doctor. Well done, fit doctor. Jeremiah again. Let's see. Mr. Vesta, come true, Jamba. Yeah, man. We have Derek Nelson. Good night, Larry. Oh, Derek.
Oh, Derek.
Kanisha saying congratulations to the fit doctor. We have Janelle McNish Allenden. Sorry. Big up, Larry. Yeah, man.
Every time.
Kanisha saying Larry, guys. Congrats, Marcus. That's what we're talking about. So, Jermel. Jermel, sorry, I don't know why I keep going, Jermel.
Jermel. It's Jermel.
In fact, that last time they didn't invite me to Christian, man. They could invite me, man. You know, but since again, we let you close up. Any closing remarks before we leave tonight? Thanks for coming, of course.
Yes, guys. So I just want to say, don't forget, tune in to Entrepreneurship in the 21st Century on Saturday at 12:30 p.m. And Callum and the Lobby Agenda crew, just keep pushing, keep doing what you're all doing. You're doing a good job. In this challenging time, let's just be our brothers, keep all let's look out for one another. Excellent job on the community initiative with the shelf, and let we continue to do the thing, man. I'm proud of all you.
Well said, well said.
Yeah, man. We nearly forget, Chef. Two quick ones. Of course, the birthdays we must pick up, the party with the shout. Today is Karen Jackson birthday. Hey, happy birthday, Jackson. Action Jackson, boy.
Big up, Kozo. Big up, big up.
Yeah, man. Also, Grace Maureen Ali. Hey, happy birthday, Grace. We had yesterday, we had Cindy Jaja. Happy birthday, Cindy. We had Francis Chacon. Remember Francis, Chef?
Of course, Shaki.
Yeah, man. Happy birthday, Francis. But she's beyond the show too, so she didn't come tonight, but she probably still partying.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hey, Minka Bazi. Yesterday's her birthday. Big up Minka. Oh, Minka. Happy it's strong. Tomorrow we have a big one, Chester Wilshire boy. Oh, John Snow.
My brother, boy.
Right, brethren. Tomorrow's birthday. May God continue to bless you, my brother. We also have Damian Charles, National. Oh, National. Happy birthday. Enjoy it, brother. Tomorrow, brother. All the best, all right? One quick one, myself and Chef was talking about it. Vaccination. I'm not plugging for or against. What I'm plugging for is this new trend that people trying to bully people left or right. Listen, we all have our different point of views on vaccination. Like example, the other night we spoke about it. I am pro. Chef said, he had a point of view, people to wait and see, so on and so forth. But we have something happening now that is very dangerous. Like example, in WhatsApp groups, you will see a plethora of people putting videos against don't vaccinate. There's a problem, and listen, nothing wrong with sharing information with your friends and loved one, but sometimes it could be at the overbearing. And also on the flip side, people who are pro, who are telling people, if you don't vaccinate, you can't get back out there, and you're being foolish. And some employers who are putting direct and indirect pressures on employees and telling them if they don't vaccinate, they can't work. Now listen, we all have our reason and we hear what the government and the saying about vaccination, but at the same time, it is illegal. I'm saying with confidence, it's illegal to tell the employees that if they don't vaccinate, they can't work for you. That is illegal. At this point in time, vaccination is a choice, and I hope it remains a choice. So do not pressure people left or right. So let's also, this we all, this is a democratic country. The tenets we are built upon freedom of choice. You also like someone's choice, whatever it is, respect it and keep it moving. Don't abuse or pressure people or look at them differently because they choose to do left or right. It's their body. You have to respect it. All right? I really want to get that message across.
Well said, Callum. I don't want to miss a few names I've seen for Library birthday this year, boy. Natasha Dorica.
Sure.
Sobo, big up. Alana George Smart, big up yourself.
Yes, man.
Kalisha, that is Khalifa's sister. Kalisha, she celebrated her birthday. Blessings. Justin Maloney in point. Justin, big up yourself. And Ayana Matthew from Library. Respect. Right.
Hey, goes on crack me up, boy.
Yeah,
The pineapple strikes again, boy.
Good.
Jermel, thanks for coming. We really appreciate you coming, brother. And we are doing this again because I think, like myself, a lot of people enjoy the conversation. We have a lot of other things we could speak about concerning library. Hold on. Look, we get a big one. The fifth doctor on the inside.
And also, to the people who experiencing pandemic fatigue and it's messing up with your mental, trust me, I'm there with you. I feel it. We tired of it. But, just remember your brother, call him, ask him how you going, because it has some pandemic affecting them mentally as well. And, let's just hope that we can get over this hurdle, because it's not easy at all.
You really triggered one in my mind yesterday. I was messaged by Dustin. He was one of the guys on our last show when we spoke about mental health, and he was really taken aback because, unfortunately, one of his close friends, committed suicide earlier this week. I know, and guys, this is one of the hidden side effects of the COVID-19. I'm not saying that was the cause, but it's something. Mental health is something we really need to look at.
It's definitely something.
Jimmy brought it up, so should I call, check up on somebody? Hey, everybody do this thing differently, so it go. So, Library, as we always say, we appreciate you being here with us. They could have been anywhere else in the world, but you choose to be here with us, so we really appreciate you. Look out for the page. As we keep telling people, we have now formed our YouTube channel, by the same name, the Library Agenda. We'll upload today's show. We're also in the process of uploading some old shows, so eventually get all the shows. So subscribe, like, view the shows. We're gonna be creating archives for you. So anytime you go back, you can tell the children. Remember, but a couple of years from now, when Jermel, Pierre, wherever he is, hey, remember we was on our agenda before you cut your hair? But another discussion.
Before you cut your hair, you see him cutting climate gels in the future or something, huh?
Well, I say that way. So guys, subscribe, like, check out the station. You know what I mean? So that's all for me tonight. Fire Marshal. Good night. So Chef, close we out.
Well, you know how much to say. Tonight was a jam-packed show. All I was said. Big up the book drive. Big up Team Voices. Big up Linpo. Big up Jermel. Big up the MP. Big up everybody involved in this lovely initiative on Saturday. And guys, we'll see you all there. Get involved.
Yeah, man. All right, Library Agenda out, Jermel.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, pal.